Are you thinking about moving to Chattanooga? It is a great city, but it's also not for everyone. In this video, we're going to talk about 5 reasons why some people regret moving here. So Chattanooga, Tennessee is in a valley. The weather moves in and stays in the valley sometimes. So we have extreme humidity or extreme rain or extreme weather, or if it's extremely humid or hot for several days at a time, we might be followed by lots of rain and different things. And with that comes changes in the pollen count. Sometimes it will negatively affect someone with severe allergies or someone that doesn't like severe temperatures. So yeah, I mean, we have to talk about tornadoes because they do happen and you can't avoid them. So the weather changes, over the last decade have been extreme. I mean, talk to people in Colorado and they're like, wow, we don't get snow till December and we used to get it in October. Talk to people, in areas that didn't ever have tornadoes and they're having them now. So it's really hard to pinpoint or say when they're gonna happen, if they're gonna happen, and if we have a lot of them. So comparatively speaking, the last extremely catastrophic one was, say, 100 years ago, and then we had one in 2011, one in 2012, and one in 2020, all in different areas of our city. One of the questions I get asked a lot is how much snow we get in Chattanooga, and honestly, it is not consistent, it's not regular, and it just depends really on what the weather does the next day after the snow, or what the weather was 5 days before the snow, whether it sticks or not. If it was warmer and then it snows, it just melts, and so we don't get a lot of it. Up on the mountain, they usually get a lot more. And when I say up on the mountain, either Lookout or Signal, they're always about 5 degrees cooler. They usually get a little bit more precipitation than we do when it comes to snow. So it's really hard to say if we get a lot of snow or not, but I feel like we get enough to make it magical and exciting and have the best of both worlds because it's not extreme weather, but it's also real pretty at a really pretty time of year. So overall, Chattanooga is a little big city. It's the best way to explain it. And obviously, when you have a little big city, you're not going to have all the big jobs that the big cities have, tech companies or with a high level of call centers or just extreme populations within one organization. But we do have a large insurance field, obviously with Blue Cross Blue Shield and with Unum. We also have the government entity of TVA. We have lots of medical fields, so lots of nursing opportunities. But overall, the city doesn't have all of the jobs in the diverse angles that other cities do. Definitely worth researching job opportunities before you move down here. I obviously always hear about the ones that just moved here, just took on a job. But yeah, there are going to be situations in which we may not have a job in the industry that you serve. With everything in society costing so much these days, obviously transportation is a huge expense. In large cities like Denver or LA, you obviously have the opportunity to rent an e-bike or rent a scooter or take Ubers or taxis, buses and trains, subways. Chattanooga is not set up to have trains, subways, or a full bus service. We do have bus service. It doesn't go everywhere, but we do have it. We have Ubers and taxis. Obviously, that can get expensive daily. And we are sort of spread a little too far out to ride an e-bike if you're, say, living in Ottawa and working downtown. And don't get me wrong, Chattanooga is doing everything they can to expand these possibilities and these options. We have a very long greenway that goes from one side of the town to the other, and we have other things up and coming. I expect in the future that Chattanooga will have broader options, but currently you likely need to have a car when you move to town. I'm a small town girl. I come from a place very much smaller than Chattanooga, so it's hard for me to say what a big city person might miss. Obviously in New York, you have decadent food on every corner with 15 different choices of coffee shops, restaurants, and genres of music and entertainment. So it's hard for me to say we have everything that you need here because it works great for me, but it's not for everybody. So what we do have is a mild downtown scene. We have music venues, we have comedy clubs, we have lots of chef-prepared restaurants and amazing food opportunities. But as far as where you go to get it, if you do live on one side of the town, you do have to go downtown, maybe 30 minutes away to get some of that action. And we are not going to have the big ticket names or the big money names that are going to come to town as far as concerts, but you will get the up and comings. I've seen some amazing stars that were on the up and coming side, so it was really exciting later to get to say that we saw them here. Depending on what your taste in sports are, we do have our UTC Mocs basketball, we have the Chattanooga Lookout, but if you want to see, like, say, a hockey game or a Major League Baseball game, you will have to travel to Atlanta, Knoxville, Nashville for those type sporting events. One of the other things that's really great about music events in our area is, like, let's just say that you're into Chris Stapleton. Well, there's a chance that he will come to Atlanta, Knoxville, and Nashville. So if one of the dates don't work for you in Knoxville, you could go see the one in Atlanta and still be a 2-hour ride home, or you could stay the night and have an event. And in addition to that, even though the large people don't come to our area always, they're not going to have that overcrowded crowd of people in town for events. So there's pluses and minuses to it all, but I do love that we have so many different options when it comes to seeing the big names. So one thing that we obviously cannot avoid about Chattanooga is, if you recall, I called it a little big city. We are a little big city, and we're becoming a bigger city, but we're small. So we're experiencing a lot of growth, a lot of people all at the same time, everyone being on the road at the same time. And so traffic can be an issue in the little towns and cities and suburbs themselves. We are experiencing high numbers of subdivisions being built and homes being built to accommodate the growth that Chattanooga is experiencing. And with that comes growing pains. It is a real thing. We are experiencing it. People do complain about it. Is it severe? No. Is it pretty bad? Yes. Is it gonna get better? Hopefully. They're working on a regular basis to redo our cities, expand our roads, and repave rough roads. So we are struggling through this, but it is a real thing, and you are gonna experience it when you come. In conclusion, I love Chattanooga. There is no city I would rather live in, but I do want to point out that it's not for everyone. If you're thinking about making a move, be sure to weigh out all your options. Got any questions? Feel free to reach out. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.